Right, so today we're going deep on a story that you wouldn't think has all that much to do with each other, but it really does.
Yeah.
We're talking basketball, soccer, Puerto Rico,
Hmm.
and a $500 million lawsuit.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
And at the center of it all
Okay.
is NBA legend, 10-time All-Star, Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony, yeah.
So we're going to figure out why he's in the middle of all this.
All right.
Our source material is an interview from another podcast where Anthony really lays it all out there.
This is going to be good.
It is.
It is.
So to start, everyone obviously knows Carmelo Anthony as a basketball player,
Of course, yeah.
but he's also got these deep connections to Puerto Rico.
Right, through his father.
Exactly.
Right.
And that connection is a big part of this whole story.
It really is, yeah.
So back in 2015,
Okay.
Anthony decided to found this soccer team,
Okay.
Puerto Rico FC.
I see.
And his vision for it was so much more than just having a competitive team.
Oh.
He wanted to really use it to uplift the island.
Wow.
You know, giving the sports scene a boost, providing opportunities for the community.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just a business venture for him.
I see.
It was a passion project for sure.
So it wasn't just about Puerto Rican pride, though, right?
Right.
I mean, the league itself, the NASL,
The North American Soccer League.
the North American Soccer League, it was growing.
Right.
And, I think Anthony saw a real opportunity there
Absolutely.
to bring more attention to the island, economic growth, all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a serious investment in the future of Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So that's what makes this lawsuit so interesting,
Totally.
because the NASL is suing the U.S. Soccer Federation.
Yeah, for a lot of money.
A lot.
$500 million.
Wow.
And their argument boils down to this,
Okay.
that the Federation basically worked against them
Really?
to favor Major League Soccer, the MLS.
The big leagues.
Exactly. And the NASL is saying that that ultimately led to their collapse.
Wow. So they're saying that the U.S. Soccer Federation really created this system
Yeah.
that was rigged against them,
Right.
like from the start.
It's like if you were trying to build a business, but your competitor
Yeah.
had like control over all the rules.
Oh, wow.
And just made it impossible for you to succeed.
Yeah. So where does Carmelo Anthony fit into all this?
Yeah, so he becomes this powerful voice in the lawsuit,
Okay.
and he gives this really emotional testimony
Really?
about how the collapse of the NASL,
Yeah.
it wasn't just a financial hit, it was a blow to Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
And his testimony wasn't filled with like legal jargon or anything.
Oh.
It was really personal.
Yeah.
He talked about all these dreams that were shattered,
Wow.
the opportunities that were lost, and this sense of despair that kind of just gripped the island when the league folded.
And you have to remember,
Yeah.
Puerto Rico has been through so much already.
Absolutely, they have.
Economic hardship, natural disasters.
Yeah.
The NASL represented this glimmer of hope,
It did.
a chance for something really positive.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So this lawsuit is about so much more than just money.
Right.
It's about power and its abuse.
Yeah.
It's about the impact on the community
Yeah.
who was really invested in the NASL.
Yeah, and ultimately,
Yeah,
it's about the future of soccer in America.
it really is.
Yeah.
So to understand the legal arguments here,
Okay.
we need to look closer at some of the specific actions the NASL is saying the U.S. Soccer Federation took to undermine them.
All right, let's do it. So one of the big things the NASL is alleging is that the U.S. Soccer Federation used its control over division status
Okay.
to kind of put the NASL at a disadvantage.
Okay, so to get Division I status,
Right.
a league has to meet certain criteria,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Set by the Federation.
Right.
Things like number of teams, stadium size,
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff with financial stability.
Yeah.
So if a league doesn't meet that criteria,
Right.
they get bumped down to a lower division.
Exactly.
So what's the big deal about being in a lower division?
Well, it matters a lot, actually.
Okay.
Because Division I status, it's kind of like a stamp of approval.
Oh, okay.
It gives you credibility,
Okay.
helps you attract better players,
Right.
opens doors to better broadcasting deals,
Makes sense.
sponsorships, all that.
Yeah.
So being in a lower division, it's like you're stuck in the minor leagues.
Right.
It's just harder to generate revenue,
Okay.
get that national recognition.
So the NASL is saying that
Yeah.
the U.S. Soccer Federation made it really hard for them
Yeah.
to maintain Division I's status.
Basically.
By changing the rules all the time.
Constantly moving the goalposts.
Ah. Oh.
Yeah, setting these unrealistic standards.
So they were getting pushed into a corner.
Exactly. And at the same time, they're saying the MLS was getting preferential treatment. Yeah, like they were getting waivers and exceptions to these same criteria.
So it's like the U.S. Soccer Federation was helping the MLS.
In a way, yeah.
Get ahead.
Right, giving them a competitive advantage.
This is starting to sound like a classic David and Goliath situation.
It really is.
You got this smaller, ambitious league trying to make its mark, but they're saying the governing body was playing favorites.
Basically.
With the big guy.
Yeah. And you know what? This case, it could have big implications.
Okay.
For other smaller leagues out there who are trying to compete
against the big guys.
Exactly. Imagine governing bodies just favoring certain leagues over others. It could lead to a ton of lawsuits.
Wow.
And force these organizations to really look at how they operate.
That's a domino effect.
It really is.
Changing everything.
Potentially, yeah.
Wow. So let's bring it back to Carmelo Anthony for a second.
Okay.
Why did the NASL's demise hit him so hard?
Well, I think it goes back to his connection to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
He saw the NASL and specifically Puerto Rico FC as a way to make a positive change on the island.
And he saw that firsthand.
He did, yeah.
The passion from the players, the excitement from the fans.
Yeah, it was all there.
So it wasn't just business for him.
No.
He wanted to make a difference.
Absolutely.
In a place that meant a lot to him.
Exactly.
So when the league folded, he felt that loss.
Yeah.
Not just for himself, but for Puerto Rico.
For everyone, yeah.
And his testimony really highlighted that.
It did.
He spoke about the players and their dashed dreams, the economic hardship. It was powerful.
It was.
Yeah, it really showed that these legal battles, they have real world consequences for people.
Absolutely.
And
and you know, this case goes beyond the NASL and even Puerto Rico.
Oh.
It raises questions
About
the role of these governing bodies.
Oh, in sports.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if the NASL proves that the U.S. Soccer Federation purposely went after them, it could set a precedent.
Wow.
For challenges in other sports.
So other leagues could say, hey, we've been treated unfairly too.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a big deal.
It is.
So this case could have a ripple effect.
Huge.
On all kinds of sports.
Yeah, potentially.
Forcing these governing bodies to really think about what they're doing.
Right.
And how they're operating.
Absolutely.
So before we get too far ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
Let's step back.
Yeah.
And look at what could happen.
Okay.
If the NASL wins this thing.
Okay, good idea.
What could this mean for soccer in America? Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, the NASL wins this lawsuit.
Okay.
What happens? Does the league just, come back?
Well, it's not quite that simple.
Okay.
I mean, first off, they would probably get a pretty big payout from the U.S. Soccer Federation.
Right.
And that money would go to all the people who lost out when the league went under.
Look.
The teams, the players, the staff.
Okay.
Even investors, like Carmelo Anthony.
Okay, so that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So there's some financial restitution, but what about the league itself?
Well, that's where things get interesting.
Okay.
Because this win could actually give the NASL a chance to come back.
Really?
Yeah. Imagine they use that settlement money to rebuild everything.
Okay.
Attract new teams, new players, get those broadcasting deals back.
So basically they'd use the legal win to relaunch.
Exactly. They could come back even stronger.
And challenge the MLS again.
That's the idea.
Wow. So what would that mean for, the average fan?
Well, more competition usually means a better experience for the fans.
How so?
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
If the NASL is pushing the MLS, both leagues have to work harder to keep the fans happy.
Okay.
So maybe that means more investment in players, better games, and maybe even lower ticket prices.
Right. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at the other side of this.
Okay.
What happens if the NASL loses?
Well, that would be a tough blow for them and anyone who wants to see a more diverse soccer scene in America. Because it would basically cement the U.S. Soccer Federation's power.
Okay.
And the MLS would just stay on top.
So it's more than just a legal loss.
Yeah.
It's like a symbolic loss.
Yeah, exactly.
And it might make other leagues hesitant to challenge the big leagues.
Definitely. The risk might just seem too high.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear this case is way bigger than just money.
Right.
It's about power, fairness, and the whole future of soccer.
For sure.
And Carmelo Anthony's testimony really drove that home.
It did.
This isn't just some abstract legal battle.
Right.
It has real impacts on people.
Absolutely.
And communities.
And it could end up changing things for all kinds of sports.
It's like we're at this tipping point.
Yeah, a real crossroads.
And the outcome of this case is going to decide which way things go.
Exactly.
But regardless of who wins or loses,
Yeah.
the questions this case raises, they're important for all of us to think about.
I agree.
Because it's not just about sports.
It's about power dynamics in all parts of life.
Are there imbalances?
Yeah.
Is there a way to make things more fair?
Exactly. And these are questions worth thinking about.
Absolutely, whether you're a soccer fan or not.
I think so too.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive. And keep those questions in mind as you go about your day.